It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Ravens and the Saints, next on Madden NFL 22.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go play action now. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He had no options downfield there and just chucked it out of bounds.
There was no one open. He was in the pocket. Where was the intentional grounding call?
Oh, you wanted the flag.
Of course I did. I'm a defensive guy. You know that. Where was the flag? The officials point out that someone was in the area. He got away with one.
On third down, Jackson. He's able to find Wallace. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as they'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Throughout his career, a few have doubted Jameis Winston's ability to throw the football. The concerns, they've always centered around his accuracy and taking care of it. When he makes good decisions on the field, excellent numbers usually result.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
2nd and 6. Winston. He'll find its tight end. It's Adam Troutman. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Winston. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jameis again. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Odafe Owe. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver. Whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter, they'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. Play action. It's Jackson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
Let's go! When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Let's go, baby.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. On 2nd down and 4, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll run here with Edwards. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again, it'll be Edwards. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. And they'll try to pound it in with Ricard. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They tried to let the fullback pound it in between the tackles, but he stopped up short. And the Saints able to come up with a goal line stand. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, Sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And Jameis is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. So after a scoreless first quarter, we at least finally get some points on the board.
But it can't be what either of us expected, can it?
No, the safety's not what you expect for the first points of the game, but one of the goose eggs is gone. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Prochet on the return.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And Jackson going to have the 1st down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And Jackson going to run again. Oh, nice move. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Saints again ready to go on offense. And a safety the last go-around. That's how we arrived at this 2-0 score. See if they can respond.
Such an oddity, isn't it? See those 2 points go up on the board, knowing
Looks like
that
soccer.
Exactly, and knowing that you did it to give those points up for your team. Now they're just looking to get back out on the field and make up for it.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Jameis to throw it. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Patrick Queen charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's pretty nice to watch as he matched the route with the receiver and stayed right there, stuck to him like glue, almost hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, helped force the incompletion.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Jackson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Jackson. And incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. 1st down, Winston. Flushed out right. And Winston lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they're the recipient of a nice gift here late in the half with a real chance to put points on the board.
And it's been a difficult half for them in terms of putting points on the board. So here with this gift, with this opportunity, they've got to find a way to cash it in.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. This is caught. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll look to run with Edwards. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins taking it in from a yard out. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And this is good as they extend it out now to a 9-0 lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. To throw is Winston. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man, because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline, and they don't get the yards after the catch.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 37 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Let's go.
So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? But wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Ravens. And even though they've got the lead, they're likely going over ways they can improve the running game, as they didn't find a whole lot of success in those first two quarters. Meanwhile, for the Saints, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football, and they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. And the Saints set to go here to begin the third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. To throw again on 2nd down, Winston. Throw left side complete to Troutman. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a halt. A big play there on the scramble. Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Jackson. He's able to find Wallace. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll run with Dobbins. Oh, a good move at the 5. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try and run. Edwards. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Gus Edwards punching it in from a yard away. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Winston now to throw on first down. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
We ain't giving up nothing today. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Here's Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Final minute now of the third quarter. Throwing again on second down. Winston. Going to throw right side here. Complete.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Four yards remain for second down. Here's Winston. And it's caught, the tight end Hill. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. His throw incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing, Winston. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. As a quarterback, Charles, you have to imagine that he knew that heat was coming there on that snap. But this time, the pressure forces him into an interception.
Absolutely he knew, and maybe that's a spot in other parts of the game. He's going to think about just throwing that one away, but down late in the fourth quarter, he has no choice, no luxury. He's got to try and make a play. And even with that pressure around him, he tried to complete it downfield to no avail.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start with the option. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Let's go, fellas.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Now a carry for Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Jackson going to find his running back here. It's Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Let's go. Let's go.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. So in Saints territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Jackson now. And this is going to be incomplete. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Callaway, the return man. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Let's go.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
56 is the mic. Defense wins championships, baby. Mike 56, Mike 56.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
From the 27, Winston. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Jameis now on 1st down. Open man is the tight end Troutman. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Winston. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 18.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Again, it's Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Second and 8 coming up.
Check 56. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
Play action now. Winston. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas. There to make the grab. And the Saints are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up. It's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.